What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Our Anime Podcast, aka the Tokyo Podfathers Podcast. And the crew right now is what we like to call the Night Kidz, aka these guys that work graveyard shift. And so we're here early in the morning while all you guys are asleep. And we're here to talk about fan bases, especially the anime fan base. And maybe our own fan base. I don't know. Whatever fan base you're a part of, we're going to see if we can get to it. But first, let's take a look at the starting lineup here. We got Based Becker.
Nobody calls me that anymore. They just say Becker. Like, I don't know, man.
Oh.
It's
so
it's whatever, man.
Anymore.
You're winging it. I like it. I dig it.
You're not based? What?
I'm not. It's actually like a chemistry joke, if anything. I think based is a chemistry reference.
You mean like base?
Yes.
Like a chemical base?
Yes.
That's okay. I'm no longer going to call you base because that's the worst connection.
Oh, it
to your
is.
name
It's
ever.
actually not based on chemistry, but I was like, oh, dude, I wonder if I can bamboozle them with some bullshit. But you know.
My Chemical Becker?
Oh god.
Oh god.
Why's it gotta be so complicated, man? Like, look, I'm caught a ton of bacon because, like, oh, what am I, metric ton? No, I'm just a lot of bacon. That's my name.
Shit ton of bacon.
There you go. No, that's gross. Maybe.
No.
And sitting right under Becker on this list of names I'm looking at, we have Mozilla Fennekin.
I'm just looking at pictures of hot girls. I'm a simp. That's my fan base. I'm a fan of hot, sexy singles in my area.
Wait, is it Waifu Wednesdays already? Like,
It's Waifu
you know
Wednesdays.
what?
Reply with a picture of your waifu, and I will rate her out of 10.
I'm not gonna do that because I feel like you're just gonna be like one. I'm like, oh, see, that's why. I
so
don't
here's
do
the
this.
thing. He literally gives everyone a 10. Like,
I
no
actually-
I
matter-
noticed.
Okay.
I noticed, but in my mind, I'm like, he's gonna f
he's
with
gonna-
me, man.
he's
Like
gonna-
the one.
Because Goop sucks.
See
right?
now that I mentioned it, the one time I do send him one, he's gonna be like, "Who is this fluffy hair one?" Like,
See, I give 10s to everyone to kind of go against the, like, your waifu is shit. So, like, everyone does that and it stopped being funny. So now I'm just like, your waifu was great, man. But I do
this is
throw
more
people
wholesome,
some...
and I like that. I like this flip on it.
I like that too because I feel like, so if we were to look at the anime fan base on Twitter, everyone likes to be the hot takes guy, you know, and I think that's so overplayed.
That was an amazing transition, actually.
Actually, it was. I was like really impressed with that bacon. Like,
Dude, why did you have to mention it? Now you ruined it.
Well,
Restart the episode.
Because I think we were actually going to talk about
Because I wanna
Waifu Wednesdays for
compliment
like
you 'cause you're
5
my
minutes,
friend.
but this is really good.
yeah, no, seriously, it was really
Okay.
good, dude.
Dude, why thank you. I've been practicing, or have I?
No, I don't think
so
you
going
have.
back to it. So going back to it. So like, of course I start off my mornings like opening up like Reddit, Twitter, and all that stuff, and I always see just anime. I don't follow a lot of anime Twitter channels because I don't really care about Twitter too much. You know, I post a whopping once a month. I just like to lurk, like, and just like retweet whatever, you know, I like. But for some reason, like, my Twitter feed always shows what my friends are liking, what you guys are liking, or commenting, or retweeting.
It's
and
a
stuff
bad
like
feature
that.
of Twitter, actually. I hate that feature so much.
Can I go?
It stops me
Yes.
from liking porn on Twitter. I'm like, can I just like my porn
Can
on
I
Twitter?
live?
Like, can I just live?
Yeah. Just leave me alone, because it's not that I don't care what Maz likes. I don't care what Becker like retweets, but I do want to see the people I follow. I want to see their tweets. I want to see like their conversations. When it just says, "Hey, Shaw liked this post," sometimes what Shaw likes isn't even relevant to me. You know, like, oh, Shaw liked this one thread about Free, and I'm like, I haven't seen Free. Why are you showing me this? How about you show me Shaw's latest post? I don't care if it's 2 days
In like
old. Just show it
chronological
to me.
order or something. Nope, that would make
Yes,
way too much sense, dude.
chronological order would be so nice. Like, there are times where I respond. I feel
I
like
like you
an
how you
ass.
actually have to go out of your way to choose that as like the like it's not even the default. It's like it'll just show you like, oh, here's popular tweets first. This is becoming like a fuck Twitter kind of podcast, but at the same time, Twitter
okay.
sucks ass.
Yeah,
but we continue to use
fuck
it every
any
day.
Twitter.
Well, like, a lot of people use it for promoting whatever, and the thing that drives me crazy is the fact that a lot of people just dedicate so much time to Twitter that they become Twitter famous, and that's like a thing.
Well, you mentioned people like, you know, doing stuff to promote stuff. Like Twitter at this point in time is used to generate traffic for whatever it is you
Right.
want.
and that's where those bad takes come from. Like, oh hey,
I don't even know if it's bad takes, but just like takes that would garner a lot of engagement.
And that's the goal.
Mm-hmm.
So an example would be, of course, like I always see my buddy. He doesn't butt heads with a lot of people on Twitter. He lurks as well, but he's always he likes to comment on his own feed, just saying like, man, these My Hero stands or these DBZ stands are like driving me crazy. And sometimes I don't even know what he's referring to. He just brings me up to speed face to face. And so it's so crazy like how anime Twitter is sometimes, because some people I know you hate this, Becker.
I'm so gonna hate it, like sure.
Sure. So like those posts, here's a post that I hate. They get two of the most generic shonen characters.
Dude, who y'all got? Who's the goat, guys?
Yeah. Who y'all got? They always do that.
Yo, he kind of fast though.
Yeah, well, it's like
I unironically like that Thorfinn kind of quick though.
Dude, I like that.
That's just such a funny way of saying. Like, I don't know if that guy was actually being serious or not, but he was like, Thorfinn
it's hard to tell with that.
Guts.
It's like, is he being ironic? Like, he kind of quick though.
Yeah, he kind of.
Oh my god. I don't know. I guess if you don't take it seriously, it's funny.
I made a parody of it where I said, Thorfinn versus literally a fucking gun. Who you got? Thorfinn kind of quick though.
Oh my god.
Thorfinn made a mistake of like bringing a sword to a gunfight. Like,
exactly.
What a dumbass.
like why though? So that's one thing about the anime Twitter fan base that like drives me nuts, is these questions. These are questions that
have been asked for
like,
years, dude.
Yeah, like the super
and it's always
people,
the same characters. It's almost like this, I don't know, like feedback cycle that just never ends. It's like this kind of loop of the same type of content every time.
Right. I remember when I first joined like our anime, and I left now, thank goodness, you know. And I feel strong.
We say this as we're branded as the R Anime podcast. Ironic.
Oh, my bad.
No, it's cool. I'm no longer a mod, so it's like, you know, it's whatever, man. Don't. I'm just. Right. I'm pulling.
Do they even like our podcasts on the subreddit? I don't know. You guys leave a comment.
I don't remember the last time I posted a podcast on the subreddit. I think it was H4. Actually.
Yeah, and people are like, "Oh, dude, look at this folder of Rika's thighs." I'm like, "Yeah, look at this."
That was H3 bacon. H4 had totally different girls. Come on.
Was it
it's
really?
not like...
But the same thing.
Oh, that's right. H4 was Kaguya. I remember now.
Yeah, it was Kaguya and some One Punch Man characters.
Ooh, oh yeah, okay. But going back to it, when I first joined our anime, like I remember when I'll be going through like browsing through new and doing my part in downvoting horrible questions. A lot of the questions were the usual casual fans going, "Hey, who would win in a fight? Ichigo from Bleach or Naruto from Naruto Shippuden?" And like that's the same.
Or the
question
secret third option, which is Goku from Dragon Ball, because we have to include Goku for the umpteenth.
No, the third option is you should be watching JoJo.
Yeah, dude. Well, JoJo fans are doing the right thing by spreading the holy word of JoJo. I mean, like they're doing a great thing.
I feel like people have slowly grown to hate JoJo fans at this point. Like,
no, the
JoJo fans in and of themselves are kind of a meme at this point.
It is so circled around to being annoying. The thing about the JoJo fan base, and I know we're jumping around topics a lot, but
yo, we kind of quick though.
the JoJo fan base was like, they've always been this loud and this like, oh, you should be watching JoJo. Like everyone, they've always been standing.
Because this is like, we're doing this based on like an American perspective or a Western perspective for the most part, right? So like JoJo's been really popular in Japan for like
forever,
decades, but like JoJo is just now like getting big. Like we're just now seeing Megan Thee Stallion like stan JoJo and stuff, all that stuff, right? Like it's just now getting like kind of some mainstream appeal, right?
It is mainstream now, because I think it was like really after Part 4 ended. I think that's when it started. I think that's when it first went onto Toonami, and that's when
that's a big signifier of it being like actually kind of popular.
Yeah,
at this point.
It's normie tier now, but that fan base they haven't gotten any quieter, so they're still shilling it as if it's something that no one knows about or something.
Yeah, I think they need to like. I think they've left the earth ground or the earth floor at this point, and they're just kind of like levitated or something. Like they're kind of in the clouds, but I think they need to be brought down back to earth and realize it's pretty popular at this point. Like,
so when an anime gets super popular, does that destroy the fan base?
I think, well,
because some people think so. Like,
I mean,
so here's the weird thing
there are
about
many like arguments to be made about like something becoming way more mainstreaming and like kind of not accepting, but like absorbing all of these like very, I don't want to say normies, but like just regular ass people, and all, not just regular ass people, but all kinds of people, and it like takes in all types of people when you're like super broad and appealing, right?
Yeah, and that's the anime fan base as a whole. Because I remember like going back, there was this one video like by Giga, I don't keep up with him anymore, but he like made a good point about how like within the anime fan base, two people could admit that they watch anime but then be into totally different things kind of deal.
Oh yes.
And so that separation right there is kind of like not the whole normie versus normies, casuals, elitist kind of thing, but when there's so many people within a fan base, like you're bound to get a few people that stand out as in their whole elitist mentality of, oh, this was our thing. Why are all these other people watching this one thing that I promoted, by the way? Because I always thought that the goal of a fan base is to grow and have more people watch this amazing thing they won't shut up about. I mean, that's why I'm like a big thing on One Piece. I always tell people, dude, watch One Piece. You gotta watch it. And other side people who haven't watched it just like to hate on it just to trigger that entire big fan base and all that deal. It's a weird, like, push-pull kind of deal. Yeah, conundrum.
But the thing is, people want you to like things the way that they like them. So within the One Piece
but
fandom,
then they have to
I'm
realize
sure
that everyone experiences media completely different from everyone else. Like,
I'm sure that
exactly,
within the One Piece fandom, there are plenty of people who are just like, "You're watching One Piece? Why aren't you reading One Piece?" Yeah,
for sure. Within the One Piece fan base, there are a lot of people who. So if we're talking about what's the word I'm looking for, like friction and like fighting within other fan bases, One Piece of course is someone that does that, because within there are people that are just like, oh, this one Straw Hat pirate like Sanji, he's obviously like the worst character in like the Straw Hat crew, which in me and my friend's opinion, there isn't really a bad character in the Straw Hat crew. Other people like to argue saying, oh, this one character is obviously the first mate, he's the lieutenant of the Straw Hat crew, not Zoro. And then we're like, well, Zoro's been there since day one. So a lot of people, again, have these weird takes within the One Piece fan base. And this is the same example for a lot of other anime series as well. Like, a lot of people, I never stop hearing people talk about, who's the strongest in Dragon Ball, who's a better character in Dragon Ball. In My Hero, it's a dumpster fire in there. The whole like, oh, Endeavor changing his ways, oh boo, or like, oh, this character blushed at this one character, true ship, and it's just, there's always tension within all these like series, and it seems to just happen with just Shonen from what I've witnessed. I don't know about you guys, like I've only seen it in Shonen series. Does anyone see anything like any patterns here or anything like crazy going on or like what?
Kind of. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if Moses is going to say something, but I'm kind of blanking for a second. But
okay.
I'm sorry, I kind of missed.
I know it sounds weird
because I had a coughing fit.
Oh no!
Oh no, dude!
He's coughing at the toxicity of his fan.
He's intoxicated by the fan base.
Oh, stop! But my point is like, I know it sounds weird, but I just want like peace within the fan bases, or at least the ones I'm a part of. Like, if you go to any idol fan base, there are waifu wars like daily. Yeah. Even though like at the end, like we're all like in this together, we're all idol trash. But when people start talking about who's the best idol, who's the best girl within this idol like group, it's like, oh,
it's almost like they've kind of made it part of like their identity or something, right? Like it's part of them. It's very personal to them, right?
So
that's a good way to put it.
Because they have terrible, boring lives and everything sucks, but this thing I like is cool.
Perhaps it's them feeling like something that's much deeper in their lives that's causing them to feel empty. I don't know. I think a lot of people will like cultivate an identity, if you will, based on their hobbies. So like say Star Wars fans or something, like they will get extremely, what's the word, weird about certain things, right?
Wait,
like,
are there even Star Wars fans at this point?
I think so. I don't know. Maybe this would have been a better point.
I'm just memeing. I'm just memeing.
Oh, I was like, I see where you're going, but like, I guess. But
big thonk.
Yeah, it's a big thonk.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Like when you like, kind of like people might. I'm gonna get a little bit deep with this, but like, I think people will tend to like treat like their consumption habits as like part of them, part of their lifestyle, right? Because a lot of products are like marketed as part of your lifestyle in some weird way, even though it really isn't. Like, say, soda. Like, why would soda be part of your lifestyle, right? That's kind of weird.
It's part of my lifestyle.
Yeah, like all the Steins Gay fans are like, oh yeah, Dr. Pepper, best drink. Ha ha ha.
I gotta say,
like,
Dr. Pepper is pretty overrated. Like, hot take,
Dude,
but like,
what?
23 flavors? I don't even know what the fuck that means. Like, what is that?
Dude, these are the same people. Ooh, 23 flavors.
I'm like,
dude,
cool,
man,
you have
the
more
worst
things
palate
injected
ever.
into your drink. I can't taste the difference between like 23 of them.
Ooh, I'm part of the Shokugeki fan base. My palate is amazing.
Oh, speaking of something that doesn't have any fans anymore, Shokugeki no Soma.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it got axed, right? Like it just ended out of nowhere in the manga, right?
It had a huge downward spiral.
And and guess what? Now that those fans don't know where to go, they're all coming back to the OG Shonen, Bleach. Bleach is coming back, boys. Let's go, anime.
Fucking Bleach and Death Note.
Yes, let's go. Oh my god, I'm gonna go back to studying the blade. I have those swords, for those of you who don't know.
I feel that.
Yeah. The Shonen fan base is I guess.
Is it just me, or is like the Shonen fan base seem very what's the word? Ignorant about things?
New to
Yes.
anime in general.
I
That's
was gonna
kind of
say-
why.
yeah.
So on Twitter, I have a meme where I say, "My Hero Academia invented blank," because
I love that meme, man. Like, keep that going.
I started that kind of in response, like not super directly, but like all the time people would be like, "Oh, My Hero Academia has this. No other shonen has ever had a character this deep." And then Hunter x Hunter fans or Gintama fans are just like, "Bro,
Dude.
bruh."
Yeah.
So
I have actually like never seen like My Hero Academia stands like go super hard on Twitter, mostly because I don't follow those people, because I feel like
Good.
I
Good.
stay out of Shonen Twitter because I feel like it's very basic in a lot of their like conversations.
Well,
about
again,
things.
going back to it's those same posts. Like, yo, who you got? It's like, shut up.
like,
you know?
bro, Lamau, dude, like, oh, okay, cool.
Like, I don't do those conversations. That's again.
I
that's
find those like
high
like
school
power
stuff.
scaling or whatever the fuck it is. Like, I just don't care a lot of
Like,
the time.
who would eat more? Goku
who would
or
eat more
Luffy?
booty, guys?
God.
Okay,
But
we need to
I
actually
love-
do
but
that.
like-
I saw a post yesterday that was like, "Who's the most racist character out of the four?" And I was like, "Dude, that's funny. That's like the best power scaling." I was like, "Well, now we have to actually think about like which character is more racist."
Do we call these like anti power scaling like anime posts?
There
'Cause
was
I
like
might
a
start doing that
Naruto
too.
character. I think it was like Toby or something. I think. And I was like, I haven't finished Shippuden, so I don't know how Toby, whatever his name is racist.
You're not missing much. It's a good ending, but that's because I liked Naruto as well. Like, we should do like one.
Dude,
So if we're gonna call
Naruto
it, like,
invented My Hero Academia, which also invented everything else. So like, think
I
about
love
that.
calling Deku Green Naruto. Like, that's all he is. Like just some no talent dude that worked his way up to being talented. And
Well, here's the thing: Naruto wasn't even like no talent. He was kind of a prodigy, bro. Like,
Well, he was
Pretty much.
he was no talent until he was able to like unlock jutsu.
unleash the
something.
beast,
Right.
if you will.
Well, like his best weapon, even all throughout the series, even from the very beginning, was his massive shadow clone jutsu thing. It's like you don't see anyone else doing.
Well,
that.
yeah,
They would
but
do,
he had
2
to
or
like
3.
he had to steal that thing at the beginning.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's the first episode. He stole a scroll and he like
That's right.
did it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I know my Naruto.
I know my
do you know how-
Naruto.
do you know how to run like Naruto though?
Oh,
Check out
dude, is this where
video.
you like show that video, Bacon?
Yes, I always continue to, dude. So, off topic, but yes. So obviously that video, still proud of it to this day. Thank you. Someone at work ended up talking about it because I told him about it, and he ended up telling another coworker, and that coworker's like, "Yo, send me this one video you made that apparently got millions of views." And I was just like, sure. And so I gave him the link. And then the next day he's like, hey, Bacon, come here, help me move this. I know you're athletic, man. I've seen you run. And I'm like, God damn it. And then, like, you know, and him, like, he started, like, he walked through the area, the manufacturing area, with, like, his arms in the air trying to act like me. And I'm like, I hate you, man. God damn it.
It's like, hey, Bacon, you're athletic. You're kind of quick, though.
Oh, my God. Yes, I'm not quick in that video. But then, one of my other coworkers, who's a big nerd, and, like, watches anime, too, he's like, wait, what are you talking about? And I'm like, oh, I told him how I made that Naruto run video and like all that stuff. And my friend's like, wait, that's you? I love that video. And I was like, oh god, now everyone's
how did you not realize like, oh, it's because Bacon has the facial hair and he looks like a dad now. So it's like, you know.
And in that video, I had a shaved head. My hair is not.
Oh yeah, that's anymore. Right, dude.
Yeah, I rocked a buzz cut.
Oh my god, that video is so old at this point. Like,
dude, it is.
I feel like it's older than most of the. It's older than most people on Shonen Annie Twitter.
Ooh. I'm gonna start doing that now. What do you call those? Those I'm gonna start doing those kind of like posts though. Just like get 4 characters and big yo. Out of these 4 characters, who masturbates the most? It's like, oh well, Deku quick though, so it's like he's gonna do it like a lot really quick. Oh my god. So what fan bases do you guys represent, or are you a fan? Or are you a part of?
Is it possible to say that I don't represent like any fan base because I don't interact with many fan bases in general?
Yeah, in general.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, but what
I
about
found that it becomes like interacting with fan bases is like not worth it for me. Like I don't really get much out of it. Like I would rather just interact with people who I can get along with more often than not. Not because I like similar shows, but because I can hold like a conversation with them, or like they're nice to me or something or whatever. Just like regular people. I try not to look for people based on like similar hobbies or like similar interests.
You know, I like that. Then again, for me, it's different because I would say I'm a part of the Love Life fan base kind of deal. But I guess I'm kind of like you. Because I only interact with them when it comes to what benefits me. So here's the
you're making it sound so selfish.
It is more or less selfish, you know. I just lurk, and then when people start talking about,
to be fair, you kind of have to take care of yourself before you can take care of others. You know, like
yeah. Excuse me, because like in the Love Life fan base, they are really good at just keeping up with everything. Like the hardcore fans know exactly what each idol is doing, where they're appearing, as in terms of like, oh, they're doing an appearance on this one show, here's a link to it, and so this one other group of people is doing translations for it. So there's some good that comes out of fan bases, because you got people who are either translating work, who are taking like things like they have this one event that they do is that the fans like to write letters to the idols and they read it on their show, you know. And some people are like, hey, I translate Japanese, and then if you want me to send a letter to them under your name, all you have to do is just write out the letter, I'll translate it for you, and then I'll send it to them, kind of deal. And obviously they're really helpful when it comes to things like, hey, where can I buy this one thing, or where can I buy this one expensive piece of merch that all you guys keep flexing? And it's like, oh, it's not on sale anymore, but here's a chart of where it's been sold, how much it usually costs, and all that kind of stuff. So that to me shows like a helpful fan base. In terms of like toxicity within the Love Life fan base, I haven't seen much. The only thing I just don't like is they take themselves a little too seriously when it comes to illegal stuff. Like one time, remember that picture you edited for me, Becker, of
right,
like one of my voice actors like flexing on camera, and then you put the Arnold Schwarzenegger Conquer logo on it, kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
I posted that in the Love Life fan base like picture section, right? They immediately took it down. And I was like, what the heck? And they're like, please don't post illegal photos. And I was like, illegal? How's this illegal? I got it from
How's
this.
How's the screenshot illegal? Like,
yeah, like I got it from this section. Like someone else had it, and I took it from them. And I was like, okay. And I was like, all right, whatever. So whenever there's things about legality, they take that very seriously. Like if I were to post a link on where to watch Love Life illegally, they would take that down immediately. And you know how I feel about legality and stuff like that.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, like they basically saying if you're gonna support this group or you're gonna support this franchise, you at least need to obtain their media in in a fair means or like in an honest way kind of deal, which I'm all for.
Right.
And like, you know, because some anime fans either stream their anime or they torrent it or they try to watch those illegal sites, and that's why a lot of anime forums like, no, don't post this site or don't post these like illegal sites, we don't support them kind of deal. And me, I'm just like, oh, I don't really care. Don't tell me what to do. I do what I want.
Right. I feel that. It seems like Love Live fans are like how I said earlier, like they're very like their consumption is kind of part of their identity now, and they take it very, very seriously. It seems.
I mean,
like.
have you seen those merch armors?
Have you
and those
seen
Ita
how
bags?
much they spend on that? That's very serious to them. Like you've told me how
Don't
much they
get-
spend at the concert, right? Like
They really love
Oh.
it, don't they?
They love seeing them live, don't they?
fuck
Oh.
off.
Dude, thank you. Dude, thank you.
God,
I'll be
this
here
is like
till
a
Thursday.
fate
Thank
tier joke. Jesus.
you. Well, dude, I know how to make fake tier jokes. I just don't say them out loud.
Oh my god, that's
Like it's in my head.
so. This
or I
is
say it
worse
to my
than that.
friends.
This is the bacon tier joke. Like,
Sure, dude, but that tier's above fate. Don't you dare compare me to him.
Oh, we're
I
gonna
have
do
taste.
power scaling for jokes in the R Anime podcast.
What the? So to podcast members, yo, whose jokes you got?
yo, he kind of dank
Fate's
though.
Fate's jokes are quick though. I don't know.
Yo, he's kind of quick.
God damn it, I hate doing this. But yeah, like the Love Live fan base is, again, I don't like interact there much anymore. Then again, I have interacted in times where, you know, trying to find info on tickets kind of deal. But that's about it, you know. I am part of P&W Love Livers. If you guys want to check out that Discord, just throwing it out there. You know, it's just a little quiet, but you know, we like to get together and go bowling. Yeah. Maz, would you say that you're a part of the Pokemon fan base?
I mean, I do like Pokemon to an extent, but I don't really consume a whole lot on the internet. I don't really, like I play Pokemon Showdown, but I don't like talk to people on it. I don't even really go on the Pokemon subreddit. Although there was a sort of Pokemon-based group that I used to be part of. Bacon, you know about it. It's Twitch Plays Pokemon.
Oh yeah. That stuff was great because they were able to beat like all the Pokemon games, right?
Yeah, I used to be really active within that community from like 2015 to 2017.
Dude, nice.
Yeah, so I was part of, like, it's really kind of like a Nintendo fan base. Like any Nintendo game just kind of shares a fan base. But anyway, but Pokemon itself, yeah, I don't really talk to a lot of people. I mean, actually, a lot of the people that I know on Twitter are from the Twitch Plays Pokemon fan base. So I guess that's the extent of it. I still talk to them a lot. In fact, if you ever wondered why I never called Becker Bex like everyone else, it's because there's someone from there who's called Bex that I've known for longer.
So that tweeting that would be kind of like confusing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nani? Hey, Lil, do you know that that's Becker this whole time?
But
Becker's
It's
a
not. It's
hardcore
actually
Pokemon
not
fan.
though.
But yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
don't even really watch people on YouTube about Pokemon, so yeah. Unless it's, you know, some other Anituber like Alexander or Ember who just happen to make Pokemon videos.
Right.
I don't know. There's no real fan base that like I particularly engage with. It's just you know, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Discord, and I'm surrounded by the people who are drawn to this podcast and whatever they're
Right.
part of. It's like, yeah, I'm part of them. Even Steins Gate, like I lurk on the subreddit a lot to check out the fan art
The
and
memes.
whatever. I've even tried to get more into the fan base. Like I've tried to, like I try joining more Discords, but like I just stay in the podcast Discord. I don't go anywhere else. And
Right.
yeah.
And so I like how both of you guys mentioned like engagement, because now that I really think about it, I don't really engage with a lot of people on all the other Discords that I joined as well. Like I guarantee you there's like a Girls and Panzer Discord, and then I haven't joined them because even then I don't interact with that fan base in particular. I think the only thing I get from the fan bases I follow is just fan art. You know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
the only interaction you'd get from other fan bases would just be the usual, like, hey, I want to watch the Fate series. Where do I start? Kind of deal. And then they'll give you all those charts, graphs, and essays on why you should start it in this order, and all that stuff.
Oh, dude, you know what I just saw in the podcast Discord is Nick's post like a Monogatari watch order, and I see it, and it's like the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. It's in the anime channel.
Oh, I've
oh
seen
my
this
god,
before.
it actually like makes me never want to watch Monogatari.
So why is it bad?
Okay,
this
so the
is just
picture itself
really-
is like really exhausting to read because it's like very, very methodic and precise and everything, and it's just
Okay,
like,
it just has too much crap on it.
it's
It
too
literally
much. That's
lists
what I'm saying.
every
It's like it's
single
just too much
episode
stuff
individually.
on there. I'm getting like a sensory overload
like
on this.
the Monogatari watch order. I mean, there are multiple watch orders.
Like, fam, you could watch it in airing order, and I think you would still get like
yeah, and
a
it's
pretty
fine.
good experience with it. That's like,
And just throw the watch order is just watch it in airing order, and
if
then
you want to
Oh
like
my
rewatch
God,
it,
and then
like,
watch
you, like,
that.
right. So if you
And
want to
then-
like rewatch Monogatari and then do it in like this specific order, that's fine, and maybe get like a few like little bonus things out of it. That's cool, but I wouldn't recommend this for like first time watchers. This is like
Yeah.
Okay, so from
This is
far away,
ridiculous.
from far away, it looks like a Pokemon types list.
right,
Kinda
dude. It
does,
does.
yeah.
like one graph's like, here's this Pokemon, here's their type, here's their EVs that you need. It's like, sorry, Nyx. Like, that's not appealing to me.
Why
at all.
is
Like,
Nyx? Just to bring back
It's not,
an old
well,
meme.
Nyx didn't make this. It's not his fault.
It's not his fault. He just
I'm
posted
sorry.
it. He's
Okay.
he's just a poor old boy. He just posted it.
Well,
That's all.
the thing is, like, when it comes to those order things, obviously we want to be a little more cleaned up and simple, but I need that flowchart thing where it's like, start
Oh, even
here.
those flowcharts are
Next.
stupid, to be honest. I don't like those to some extent. If I
like
wanted to watch something, I would like to. If anything, you know what's more helpful than like a flowchart is watching like a YouTube video on it. I feel like, for me at least.
Well, if that's how if you want to
What's
do
up?
it.
I mean, I could agree with that. Yeah.
Like, okay, so the reason like I watch like say a Gretzko or Initial D is because y'all are gonna hate it, but I still watch Mother's Basement from time to time. But like,
I'm still subscribed to him. I just
so
don't
here's
watch
my
it.
take. His best content is his recommendation videos. I will die on that hill. I think that's
Okay.
some of his best content. Period. Like
I think so. I think so too.
his videos on like a Gretzko and Initial D were like made like he knows how to sell things. I think that's funny to word that now, but like he's really good at like selling shows because I know he used to write for like game review websites.
Yeah,
and
he's ex game.
Oh, I didn't know
he's
that.
really good at it. So like him talking about things that he's like very passionate about, I would love to hear him talk about that more. Like just recommend me shows. I would love to hear that. I'd like to, even if I watch a video I know like on a show I know nothing about it, like if the show interests me, I'm like, oh shit, dude, I'm gonna watch this show now. Like I don't know. I don't like reading like recommendations. I kind of enjoy watching videos on stuff more often than not. Like
Yeah.
Right, because you get a mix of like another person kind of telling you why they're passionate about the show, why it's a good show, as well as the visuals and stuff like that. Because just reading recommendations like, oh hey, I recommend this list of shows, it's kind of like, why do you recommend this?
it's
Is
mostly
there-
like why they recommend it is like important to me. Like
yeah, I 100% agree. Yeah, I like, and on the topic of Mother's Basement, like we've said this before, like a lot of times on this podcast, but he does get a lot more crap than he deserves.
I think he does, absolutely.
Wait.
Wait. Okay, depending on the situation, I think he gets more crap than he deserves.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
like
I
I
won't
hate
die on this
those.
hill.
I hate those like those tier list of like Anitubers.
Okay, I hate the
Kinda
tier
thing.
list shit. Like for
Yeah.
other people, I don't like that as much. Like
Right, and like I've seen a lot where like Mother's
I
Basement is
feel
like
like
the
yeah,
bottom
like
tier.
they'll
And
put
I'm
him in like
so
F
what?
tier or something. I'm just like, and it's always Pedro too. It's always pedantic romantic as well. Like, wow, not even based on like their like YouTube content, but more often how they act on Twitter, which isn't the same thing as like AniTube content. But that's neither here nor there. It's I will get in a rant if I continue talking about this. Oh, can we talk about like
yeah.
AniTuber fans and like the maybe like fans
Yeah.
of like YouTube and stuff and how that
Well,
shit's
this is a really good time because you know what's going on right now.
What? Oh god, the Nux Taku shit.
Nux Taku started a campaign to get Ishizoku reviewers at #1. Unfortunately,
I don't know any of these names that you guys just said. So before we go into it, I don't keep up much with Anituber anymore. I don't know any of these people.
I mean,
okay, so go on, please.
I don't know if anyone like actually watches Nux Taku. He's another channel that has like you like hear him from time to time. Yeah, like
I don't watch him. I don't know anyone that really does watch him.
Exactly.
And every time that I've heard people talk about him recently, they're just like, "Oh God, it's Nux Taku again." Seriously.
It's kind of like it's kind of like the Anime Man or something, where he just
or
like
Mr. Crinexy or something. Like,
yeah,
how does this person have so many
God.
subscribers? But like every time I hear about him from people in my circles, it's nothing but negative stuff.
Yeah, but anyway, Nux has like 1 million subscribers, and I don't know where he started this. I don't know if he did a video or a post on Twitter or anything, but he just wanted people to post. He just wanted people to rate Ishizoku reviewers a 10 out of 10 on my anime list, so that it will get to #1 of all time. And for what it's worth, #1 is FMAB at 9.22. Ishi's reviewers got to 9.21, and now it's falling. So he like came that close to it.
Wait, you could do that? So you're saying that I could get Girls in Panzer to #1 if I just get 1 million subs on my channel and just tell everyone, my whole whatever anime army, to just bring it to a 10?
I think
it's
worth
it's possible. Reviewers is a particular situation because people are mad that Funimation. It was on Funimation, but then they took it down, and people are mad at them about that. And I don't actually know if this is like a fuck Funimation sort of thing, but it's just like it's Ishizoku reviewers is a big meme show right now, so that's just why people are on board with this.
Yeah, I haven't heard.
Okay, here's my flaming hot take. I feel like this is just done so like Nux Taku can get more people to watch his shit. Low key, this is like done to like elevate his clout, if that makes sense. Like,
I mean, well, what YouTube channel is?
I mean, that's what he does. He just does things to outrage people in any way, shape, or form. That's something he's always done.
I don't know.
That's how some people on Twitter do it too. I mean, like we just
he's just a Twitter user at the end of the day. Like, bro, he's just using the machine.
Is anyone like actually going to his channel to watch him though?
No.
Because
I mean,
because all the people that are rating this at 10 out of 10 are either already Nux fans, or they just see that this is a thing and they're like, yeah, like I rated it a 10 out of 10.
People are talking about it on Twitter and they're like reverting back to Nux about all of this, right?
I mean, they're mentioning him, but are they watching him?
I mean, I'm not saying that they're going to go and watch his stuff, but it's like it's done for like clout, essentially, for social capital, if you will.
I guess.
This is all very fascinating to me. Like, I don't know who this is. I don't know what this anime is, and I didn't think.
Oh, you should watch. You need to watch Interspecies reviewers. I'm serious.
Like with Anituber. I mean, the only videos I watch in terms of Anitubers, I'm not. Not sucking anyone off, but the only person I watch is yours, Maz. Like whenever you post, I'm like, hell yeah, dude.
Well,
like,
thanks, Bacon.
Keep at it,
I
man.
appreciate that. I might do a video about reviewers.
Dude, do it, man. And I watch my own content too. But yeah, it's like I don't
hope
keep
you
up
watch it.
anymore
I mean,
because
you're kind of making it. So, are you doing it blind? Like, I don't know what your method is, man.
No. It's just I just like to check up on it, just like any other amateur YouTuber. The thing is I again go back to like, what am I benefiting from like watching this? Like I remember I would watch way back when I was new to anime. I would watch just top 10 videos, so that I could think to myself, why is this person putting this in this top 10? Like top 10 romantic comedies, top 10 battle shonen, top 10 horror anime series,
top 10 penises, whatever the fuck it is, right?
Yeah, and I'm just like, oh, okay, let's see this. And I stopped after that because I just end up realizing, like, man, these are like, I'm not feeling any of this. Or like whenever shows I already watched and it's in their top 10, I'm just like, well, that's not even a good show. And so I get recommendations in anime from like my own friends because they know me better than I know myself, and vice versa. And so the thing is, it's like, should I watch that show? I asked my friend, like, should I watch Fire Force? And he's like, the fan service gets in the way. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Bro,
so
it's kind of mid, but like, it kind of lit though at the same time.
Are you saying literally?
He do be kind of lit though.
Oh, dude, he lit though. God,
he kind of lit though.
You guys mentioned Mr. Crinexia because
I'm gonna kill this meme so hard, dude.
Dude, the last piece of content I like kind of watched from Missy Cronexia, other than his horrible top 10 videos, was he ended up somehow making his own anime, and like I watched like the first 5
okay,
minutes.
now that you mention it, I remember that, and I think it was like big trash. It was the big trash, right? Like
no, it was awful because like the first like 5 minutes, it was like, well, okay, say 2 minutes, right? It's like all exposition of someone talking while these characters are like running through the streets in the same like 12 frames of them doing the running motion while like the background changes, and a lot of people are like, this is awful, and then Misty connects to try like defending it, like, guys, there's something called exposition. It's like, no, you just literally just talked over a bunch of people just running for like a minute or two, and you threw out all these names of people, and it was awful. And me, I'm just like, wow, I didn't realize anyone can make an anime these days, and that's what like pushed me to start making my own content. And that's back in like 20 freaking 13, 2012. I don't know, it was a way long time ago. Oh, yeah, but this Anituber fan base kind of thing, like, there are times I'm just like, how do these people have this many views? I don't know, because a lot of it is just shock value, you know?
Well, like, that's attention is the currency in the marketplace of ideas. Not to be like that guy, but like, it all comes back to engagement. It all comes back to attention.
So what you're saying is we need to start renaming our pod episodes something crazy. Like,
well,
Becker's hot take is what? And then do like that coming face on the
Becker uses a penis pump for the 5th time in a row. Oh my god.
I mean, kind of, dude, in a weird way, that's what our hentai episodes are. Just
no,
like,
but let's be honest, that's what a lot of social media is about, is engagement, right? And engagement means attention on you, right? It's all about what you can get from other people, right? To some extent. Right. But whatever. What else do we want to talk about?
Okay, what makes a fan base toxic?
Toxic people. Not just toxic. Okay, I don't want to say toxic people because I don't want to be shitting on people. I think it's toxic mentalities that makes it bad.
So like gatekeeping.
Yeah, and like I'm just kind of curious, Bacon, just to throw something at you. Why do you think people are gatekeeping or gatekeeping?
Because a lot, like you said, how when something becomes a part of them, they take a lot of pride in that kind of deal. So, especially in times where things change, you know what I mean? Kind of like, I've been a big follower of this since day one, and you know, I have the right to be the spokesperson for this anime or for this sports team or for this food trend because I was here from the beginning, so I should be the one to be the guru of it kind of deal, or the person that you should come to ask for, how do I partake in this, how do I be a part of this kind of deal.
It sounds like people will think that they are like perpetually correct about things.
Yeah, and it's the whole thing like, well, I've been here longer, so I have seniority over you, which means whatever you say, regardless if it's right, wrong, or a good take, it doesn't matter because you're not going to overrule me kind of deal. Because, and to use like, you know, the lingo that's used a lot here in the Northwest is the whole bandwagoning of like the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks were trash like early 2000s, man. Like we had one Super Bowl shot and we more or less got robbed from it, whatever. Then after that, it was awful. Me, I never liked the Seahawks because they were awful. I was an Indianapolis Colts fan, you know? And so, now then like there was that big trend and like, well, it was like early like 2015 2016 season, I could be wrong because it's been so long, you know, Seahawks started like to get better and better, and they had this coach and they had this horrible draft that ended up being a good draft, and then all of a sudden we're getting playoff numbers, we're getting like, you know, Super Bowl appearances, and so you saw a big shift. You see a lot more people being supportive of the Seahawks, and then you have the other side, you have the gatekeepers saying, hey, I've been a Seahawks fan since back in this day, now look all these bandwagoners coming up just because the Seahawks are winning. And my thing is like, yeah, you should support a team that's winning because that's a good thing, right? Or like, don't you want the fan base to grow so then they could buy more tickets, buy more merch, be proud of their state, because it brings morale up for an entire state, believe it or not.
Well, yeah, that's a big reason why people will like why some cities have sports teams is to bring in like, say, business in the city, right? Like there are financial reasons to do that.
Right, and those people who are those longtime fans, even during the times when the Seahawks were bad, they just feel kind of, you know, it's that, you know, it's weird. Like, how come you get to be here when the times are good when I was here during the times where you're bad and you were nowhere to be found kind of deal. So I know that's not a good comparison to anime or like some certain anime series, but if I'm like, you know, a longtime
Well,
fan
we
of
can
something,
compare this to things getting like suddenly more popular now. Like, oh,
Right,
I've been a My Hero Academia fan since 2016, or if you want to get even earlier, I've been a fan of it since like 2014 or 2013, whenever the manga started, whatever. But you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, 100%. Like, one of my close friends was like reading the My Hero manga, like since like when it first came out, and he was the one that was like brandishing it. He's like, "Hey, you should read it," and like I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll wait till the anime." The anime came out, and
then the anime comes out in 2016, and it's like, what?
And then this big wave of people that are all these My Hero fans. How does that feel for like the manga readers? And of course, manga readers are just a whole nother like layer of like of a fan base kind of deal. Because like you said, there's why are you watching anime? You should read it. And like, you know, the manga readers are posting spoilers and spoiling the anime fans, and they go, well, you should have been reading it. It's like, no, that's not a good mentality, you know.
I've been a source reader for many things, even before I was super into anime. I read Akame ga Kill and One Punch Man well before they got anime. And if there's anything I've learned, it's that no one cares if you're a source reader. No one cares if you've seen it beforehand, but people think that, you know, people like to wave that around like it does matter. It doesn't.
Because it gives you this sense of power, essentially.
I guess.
I mean, that's the idea behind it. I'm not saying it does literally give you power, but like when you like, you know, you're into something that is a little bit less known. A lot of the times, hipster people, I think that's a good comparison. Like will feel superior to like say a normie, right? Because their lifestyle, their choices in life, their hobbies are all kind of like relatively more obscure. Like they have the knowledge, they're smarter, they're kind of more superior. It all comes back to like, wow, I feel better than everyone else, even though you're just a fucking person that just likes different things. Like whatever. I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah.
No. Like I'm more or less like see you guys' point and all that. I guess for me, like when it comes to like a fan base, I think the only thing I want is just for everyone to like not shame like the new people coming in kind of deal. But when
I
the
feel
new
like people should be like a lot more inclusive and welcoming to new people. Like,
yeah, and at the same time, the new people shouldn't, you know.
I also think, well, I know new people are going to be new people, right? I mean...
Right. You got to give them that slack, especially since a lot of these new people are sometimes younger fans kind of deal. And that's why there's just always that big piece of, like, tension of, like, the old people versus the young people. Like, I've been here this long, you know, you can't be here. Like, one thing that kind of grinds my gears is when young people start listening to, like, old school rock kind of deal. And, like, all these kids listening to Nirvana, you know, blah, blah, blah. Like, they hate it. It's like, wait, a lot more people are listening to the same music as you. Doesn't that make you happy? But these two people who
it kind of makes you question why you liked it in the first place. Like, what?
Yeah, do you
what
like
about
it because you stand out? Yeah. It's because it's hard for those two people to kind of interact because this one like guy who could be like a middle-aged guy likes this one band, and then another kid's like, oh yeah, I like this band too, and the guy's like, oh, you have no right to be here because you weren't there when they were touring. But
how could you wear a Nirvana shirt if you don't even really listen to like all of their music, dude? Like,
right, and it's kind of like we shouldn't be acting like that. We should just be like, oh yeah, what's your favorite song? Of course, they're probably gonna name the song that's played the most on the radio, but
yeah, but that's how most people get into things. They find something that had a little bit more broader appeal. That's how like most things work. Like, a lot of art is consumed that way, to be honest.
Yeah, like what's popular? Like, you know, me, I watch Dragon Ball, and like
yeah, a lot of people got into Dragon Ball because it aired in the '90s on fucking Toonami. Like, that's a huge thing. Like, whatever.
Like, is there gonna be that one fan that's like, oh, my first anime was?
Oh, you know what? I first watched Dragon Ball Z on fan sub VHSs from the early '90s, and it's like, cool, dude. You had connections. You had connections different from everyone else. That doesn't make you better than people. It really doesn't.
And that doesn't make you better than some people that weren't able to access it because, like, there were any elitists walking around back in the Toonami days. Can you imagine that?
I mean, there are elitists in the anime community, like I said, for the fans of, like, VHSs and all that stuff. Like, because anime back in the day was, like, really hard to come by. Unless you knew a guy who knew a guy who knew another guy who brought some like bootlegs from Chinatown, you know, kind of like it was like really, really difficult, and it cost a pretty penny to acquire anime. Now it's an extremely like, what's the word, accessible medium at this point. You can watch like literally tens of thousands of anime at this point, and it's like, dude, yeah, no shit, you're gonna get a lot of people into your fan base that you're not really like familiar with, or like, yeah, and you can't interact with a whole bunch, right?
Yeah,
like,
you can't connect with them either, you know? Of course, like, a person that's read One Piece from day one is gonna have a different mentality than a person who watches the first 100 episodes of One Piece last week. Right. And of course, like, you guys aren't gonna be clicking kind of deal, you know? And it's just...
It's almost like everyone's experiences, like, are different from one another, and it makes up who you are, you know? Like, holy shit, dude.
Right. I think, again, I've said this in other episodes, but I just want everyone just to chill out, right? Just chill out.
I do feel like people should be like trying to communicate better, or maybe communicate in good faith, if that makes sense.
Right.
Maybe try to understand the person that you're talking to a little bit better. I don't know.
Like, I don't know where I'm going with the rest of this, but you get what I mean with the whole, like, everyone just needs to chill out. And at the same time, everyone just needs to broaden their horizons. Everyone needs to stop thinking that, you know, I've watched 10 anime series, I'm a part of all this now. I guess you could say this might lead us.
I think people who watch 10 anime are just as much of an anime fan compared to me, who have watched over 1,000. I'll say that.
But I just love the way, like, when they always do the whole, like,
okay, it is funny when like,
who's the GOAT, and then you're just like, for the love of God,
I will say, as someone who
anime.
used to frequent our anime, there used to be a lot of posts where it was like recommendation posts. We're asking for recommendations, where people would be like, "Oh, I feel like I've seen all the good anime out there," and they've seen like maybe 40 shows from like the past 3 years or something.
And those are all recommended by.
And I find that
guy,
interesting. At first, I thought, "Wow, this person's fucking stupid," but now I just think, you know what? Like, you couldn't say this like 20 years ago. Like, you couldn't say I've seen all the good anime out there. I was like, most people back in the day would just say, I've seen all the anime that's currently available. Like, that's a completely different mindset, you know? Like, it's interesting to think about is, like, people have it so much more easier. Oh, not easier, but, like, there are so many more options to what you have available that's going to picture, like, that's going to shape your taste a little bit, I feel like.
Right. So what you're saying is the anime fan base is a horrible fan base.
Yes.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
Like it's not perfect.
It's different than it was before. I think it's just adapted in different ways, and it's interesting to think about how it's adapted. I personally find like researching or like reading about the history of anime, like being a Western anime fan back like 20 years ago. Before streaming was a huge thing. I find that incredibly interesting, personally. It's very fascinating. But, yeah, I don't know. I will say anime fans have a lot easier now. It may be in some ways harder because, like I said, there's almost like 10,000 anime available. Like, it's hard to pick something, right? Like, it's a lot harder. Back in the day, you just watched what was available, right? Like, now that you do, it's like, well, shit. I have too much choice now. Like, I don't know where to start. I feel like almost like claustrophobic a little bit, if that makes sense.
Right. Like, it's when there's always so much to choose from. At that point, you kind of have to leave it up to yourself. Like, well, what am I into, kind of deal? Because that's usually how I recommend to people. Mm-hmm. I don't go straight to my top 10 and go watch this so you can relate to me.
Yo, dude, watch Goop. I could see you doing that. Dude. Like, bro, you like literally gave people like Goop DVDs at one of your convention shows. Come on.
Well, first of all, because it was on this one website and it was like $5 a copy. And
Are you saying like, okay. Sentai Filmworks?
No, it was another website. It was Right Stuff.
Oh, we're not sponsored by them, so that
yeah.
Oh, well, fucking shit, well, dude.
I know. Oh yeah, but like they had like a sale. It was like like Black Friday sale, and then it was like Goop was like $5, and I was like, man. Time to really show.
It's worth a lot less than $5, but go for it, dude.
I'll kill you. I'm gonna kill you, Becker. Stay out of my Goop fan base. Disgusting. You know anything about tanks. I will say though that a lot of the Girls in Panzer fan base is just a lot of people who are just fans of like World War II stuff, and I'm not surprised. Like if you were to ask me, like, oh, like, what's your favorite tank, or what's your opinion on all these like war references and like goop, I'll be like, I just like my character and how she loads the tank shells and stuff like that. Like,
she's got really fluffy hair and
fluffy hair, and I just like that. Because some guys like
they all live on a boat.
Yeah, I'm on a boat.
They're on a boat, motherfucker.
Look at this motherfucking boat.
Oh my god!
You know, one of these days I'm gonna have to do like an Arya AMV to "I'm on a Boat." Like that's my $1 million like idea. Like I'm gonna submit that to like a convention AMV contest and I'll win it.
I hate. Well,
no, dude, it's so funny.
Dude, speaking of AMVs, like I feel like the only AMVs that get any attention around at the convention I go to are the funny ones.
Yeah, I wish there was more like different types of like emotions. Funny. Well, it's I don't want to say it's like easier to do comedy, but it's easier. I guess it is kind of easier to do comedy, right? Like, I guess it's easier to identify like something supposed to be funny rather than something supposed to like, you know, suggest a different mood, if that makes sense.
Right, and to get someone into a different mood is kind of weird. Because I remember when we were sitting at this AMV contest at this convention I went to, it was like at this big like auditorium area. The category that we were in, like, because we were trying to watch all of them, because we were just trying to chill. One of the categories was like, not romance, but it was kind of like that dark, edgy type crap, right? And it just ended up being the same thing. It was like some dark, heavy metal or some rock,
some new rock,
right?
Or new metal or something.
And then they get like an anime like Mirai Nikki,
and they over edit the fuck out of it, like
yeah, and they just do like the black and white scenes and the zoom in on the eyes and show the blood. I'm just like, yeah, I've seen this.
You know,
so
I gotta say,
it's just watered down.
Shout out to my AMV style intro for 09 impressions. That shit's the bomb. Like, that shit's the greatest. There's nothing better than that. Because I
wish I could have been a part of that episode.
Because I was like kind of like I don't want to say shitting on, but I was kind of like making fun of like those type of AMVs that you were describing. Like, I found this like heavy rock intro. I was like, dude, yes, it's in English. That's even better. Like, hell yes. I was like, I actually watched like a lot of retro like AMVs for that like inspiration, just to like get everything down correctly. It was so much fun, actually. Anyway, now that you're saying conventions, do we want to talk about like anime fans at conventions, maybe? Like,
please. So not to beat a dead horse, but the My Hero fans.
You know, I gotta say, fans at conventions are kind of interesting people, because it's not even like you're talking to people on the internet. You're interacting with actual human beings, and that's an experience in itself.
That's scary to think about.
It's spooky, actually.
It is, because some people, like in the words of Tom Segura, one of my favorite comedians, some people just want to connect. So if you go to an anime convention, you're guaranteed to connect with someone, you know? You just overhear people talking, hey, I like to have you watching this, or you see a cosplayer and you're like, yo, that's a cosplay from my favorite anime. I should go take a picture and talk to them about it. You know, what do they think of the latest episode that dropped today? And that's great. You know, human interaction is good for you, in my opinion. Yes. It's important. You kind of need it.
It's crucial. I think some people are more, you know, what's the word? I want to say isolated, but like on their own more than others, and that's perfectly fine. But I do think interaction is healthy to some extent. I will say that.
Agreed. And so that's why I don't run away from conversations. But you know, obviously, you've seen me, Becker. Like, there are times I don't want to talk to people, but
dude, you just have to get some AirPods or something. Just put them in.
Dude, no, even then, there were times where I got my headphones on and people try talking to me.
Dude, I do that all the time. Like, I try to put headphones in and then people will still talk to me. Like, dude, you're not reading the message, my dude. God.
Yeah. But there are times where, like, you know that awkward moment when, like, me, you, and 8-Bit are just, like, having a conversation about something, and that one guy just tries to jump in on it, and we're just like, oh, yeah,
those
cool,
guys,
man.
See,
we're not talking to you.
I don't want to, like, make, like, sweeping statements about, you know, anime fans, but I've noticed that a number of them seem to be into anime, and maybe into anime community for, like, some sort of belonging, somewhere to belong, if you will.
Yeah.
Like,
somewhere I belong.
Dude, I was also thinking about that song. That's literally what I was thinking about when I said that. I was like, yes.
Hashtag every anime fan be like.
But like, you know, now that anime is so much more online than it was before, it's a lot easier to connect with people, right? And it's a lot easier for people who maybe were like kind of on alone or just felt isolated to maybe interact with people. I feel like, and I think that's a good thing, to some extent. I don't know where I was going with this, but yeah, I think there's. I like it. It's cool. Although
I think the only thing I don't like
sometimes
is just
people are a little bit awkward when you interact with them at conventions.
a little.
I think so. Here's my thing. So here's something I wanted to say for like a long time, and I feel like this might come off the wrong way, but I feel like given the nature of anime and anime consumption, I think it's made people to some extent a lot more alone because you spend a lot of time by yourself consuming anime and anime adjacent content, right? You probably spend that alone, and that may actually like impact how you interact with others.
Right.
I have no research to back this up. I'm going to go based off of my observations. I don't know where I was going with this. However, it's something that I've noticed people are like like anime fans, and I guess just any niche, quote unquote niche hobby person are kind of, I don't know if antisocial is the word, but they're just a little different, if you will. I've noticed that, and I wonder if like things like anime or like animation or like video games is kind of like this, like, I don't want to say escapism, I really don't, but it's like this this healing,
well, to a lot of fans,
this like comfort
escapism.
for people who aren't exactly the most social.
Right. And that's, I mean that's how I treated it when I started first watching anime. Same with video games, but the thing with like going out to conventions is, I guess to some extent, you're trying to find someone who has the same mentality as you, kind of like, man,
I would not go to I see, here's the thing, I wouldn't even recommend going to conventions on the mission to make friends.
Agreed. 100% agree.
Think that's a good idea.
That's not that. Then you're basically kidding yourself, because it's kind of like, why you're watching.
It's like,
anime
dude, you're
in the
setting
first
yourself
place.
up for like disappointment. Like,
It's like you're watching anime just so you could make friends. That's kind of like being like, oh, I'm getting into this.
It's
just
more
so
like
people
making
notice
friends
me.
along the way is like the real treasure of One Piece, right? Like, it's not about the actual, it's not about the destination, but it's about the friends you made along the way.
One Piece is not like that. I swear
The
to you,
real
it's not.
treasure was the friends.
We heard it from Oda. He says One Piece is not that kind of treasure. It's an actual thing.
Oda's
Get
a
it on
liar.
One
It's
Piece.
definitely the power of friendship.
Oda is the greatest of all time. Who you got? Oda Fasto, man.
Yo,
Look
Oda
at
kind of
him.
gets sick sometimes, though.
I don't think Oda's very quick. This One Piece has been going on for a while.
Yeah, honestly, this isn't the most like,
God
what's
damn
the
it.
word? Not precise, but like, oh, there's a word for like, whatever.
Efficient?
Not efficient, but like, there's a word. I've heard Digiro use it when he talks about writing.
Does it have a sound?
Simplified.
Not simplified, but like,
Damn it.
this is stumping me so hard because I'm like, I
Sound
know
it
what
out.
it is.
Let's
We're
just
like,
watch
you,
every video featuring Digibro.
like,
Find
so
it.
he's talked about
No.
this where like you kind of get more content out of writing less. I guess maybe efficient is almost the word, but like, you make the
Condensed.
same thing. You kind of say the same thing, but you write less physically, right? Like, if that makes sense.
No.
Compressed.
Yes.
Okay, and that's it.
No, that's it. That's it.
Oh, okay, okay.
No, that's it.
I think the only thing I wanted to mention that makes me just kind of like roll my eyes at like conventions and like fans at conventions, it's just the amount of squealing. I'm gonna call it the yaoi fan base. The amount of squealing I hear. And
Okay, I feel like ragging on the yaoi fan base is so like last generation of anime fans, because I feel like I don't mean to
rag on them
fans
that
are just
way.
like, I think fujoshi are like kind of like, I think there's a little bit of like homophobia when it comes to fujoshi, like shitting on like a
First of
little
all,
bit.
that's not what I'm getting at. Of
I'm
course,
just
we'll
saying,
go-
I
go-
think
know,
a little
yeah.
bit of it, like a lot of like why fujoshi are kind of ragged on a lot on the online in anime circles feels a little not only misogynistic, but fujoshis tend to enjoy a little bit more, gay shows more often than not. Kind of feels homophobic a little bit.
Right. So for me, like, that's not, just put it out there, that's not how I feel. It's just the way you conduct yourself when you see something that you like is what kind of tells me about yourself sometimes. I know
it
that
kind of reminds
weird.
me of like fangirls of like boy bands from like the 2000s a little bit.
That's a great way to put it. Thank you. Because I guess you could say in that realm, I'm not a fan of that. And, you know, as of right now, like, I think I'm starting to like develop like a slight hearing problem in my left ear. So if I hear certain frequencies or noises, I would get a weird hissing noise on my left ear. Yeah, it's the end of me, I know. But there are times where I'm just walking around at a convention and see, like, let's say a bunch of My Hero fans are cosplaying as whatever boys they are. And they do those, like, slap their hand against the wall things and pretend to, like, get really intimate with each other kind of deal. And my girl's really into that. And the thing is, it's like,
nice.
When they do that, they melt into the ground and start, like, squealing and, like, rolling on the ground as it... Yeah, and then they're just like, oh, wait, they're all, like, running around.
Was that Yumo's or was that your cat? Like...
That was me.
Oh, I thought that was your cat. I was like, that's really convenient.
Oh, my God. Moss, no, don't be like that. But the thing is, like, it's just... I don't know, it's one of those pet peeves I have. It's like, relax. Like, when I see hentai or when I see anything relates to something I truly love, I don't go squealing, running at it, tackling to the ground. I'm a full-grown man, all right? But I get it. These are, like, younger audience members are just really into what they like. It's just the way they conduct themselves is obviously, like, you know, more or less childlike kind of deal. I get it. But seeing it in public, it's like, you know... Like, again, I'm no different. I'll brandish my light stick in front of people when I hear Love Live music. Okay, right. It's just that the amount of times where I'm just, like, trying to do something. Because one time, this all stems out from one time, like, many years ago. And let's talk like this. I'm talking, like, first season of My Hero just aired. I was walking by a group of My Hero cosplayers, and these girls were, like, swinging each other around, hugging each other. And one of the girls let go, and they literally ran into me. Right, and like it almost knocked me over, and I'm a big guy too, and like that momentum kind of like hit me, and I was just like, "What the hell, really?" And like, she didn't even say sorry. She just was on the ground laughing as if she's having the time of her life, and I'm just like, "Grow!"
You're just like, "What the fuck, bitch?"
Yeah, no, I didn't want to, because like, dude, he's like, you're younger than me, and like, I don't want to start a fight at a convention. I don't want to be like, "Hey, apologize to me." That's such a boomer mentality. Like, I get it, you're having fun, but it's like, relax. Like, you ran into someone, and I instantly bolted away, and I was just like, like, just rolling my eyes. I'm sorry, that was a dumb tangent, but it's just, that's where it all stems from. It's just, relax, you know? Like, yeah, I'm having fun too, okay? Like, I see Love Live cosplays, I'm not nutting, like, oh, it's my favorite girl. I'm just like, oh, yo, cool. I like your stuff, you know? It's, yeah. Am I the toxic part of this fan base? I don't know. Probably. Sure. Why not? Who you got?
I don't know, actually. I was reading Twitter. Why am I reading Twitter, guys? What is wrong with me? Why am I like this?
As much as we despise whatever fan bases, will always come crawling back.
It's like anything in life. You kind of despise it, but it's going to become a regular part of your life, essentially.
Right.
So have we talked about we've talked a lot about why people suck, but what are good fans?
Ooh, that's a good idea. That's harder to quantify, because it's easy to quantify something you don't like, but it's hard to quantify something you do like.
So, an example that I've been running into a lot lately, and I sorry, not really too anime related.
I think that's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah. So I like people who are really helpful that want to make you better, and I'm looking at the Monster Hunter fan base. So I've been really into Monster Hunter for the past couple weeks. I love it. Really addicting game. And I've been talking to a lot of people face to face at either work or other places. When I find out someone plays Monster Hunter, it's a really knowledge-filled situation, because we try to always help each other out in terms of making our own hunts and our own games
because
better.
Not everyone knows everything, and it's easy.
They
it's
only
honestly
know what
the right
they know.
thing.
They only know what they know. Right. And so there are times
that's like
where
the point of this whole episode, I feel like, is that fans only know what they know, and they're going to go off what they know. And it's important to think about that this shit is bigger than all of us. Like,
yeah, and it's their choice on how they want to interact with someone else that either knows more than them or knows less than them, kind of deal. So, like, when I talk to Monster Hunter fans, obviously, you know, the first thing we ask is, "Oh, you play Monster Hunter? What are you proficient in? As in, like, what are your favorite weapons?" There's 14 different weapons in Monster Hunter. That's a lot, okay? I only run 2 right now, going on 3. And that's hard for me as it is because every weapon's got such a unique style and it takes a long time to adjust to it. So over time, when you talk about what kind of weapons you guys are using and you ask them, hey, like, what are you doing right now? Like, what monster have you hunted? Oh, and I always tell them, man, I have a hard time against this one monster, man. I can't do it. You know, I call for help and I'm the guy dying. And usually the other fan's like, hey, you should do it like this. And since you're running this weapon, you should aim for this body part. And then after a while, you'll cut it off. And then when you cut off that body part, it makes it easy for your teammates to fight it. And make sure you don't do this around them. And I always end up learning so much. And they're always like, hey, since you run this weapon, you should run this type of armor too, or run this type of decoration because it helps you with your style. I'm like, oh, cool. And it's really great because there's not really anyone out there that kind of brings you down. Like, oh, get good. You hear that a lot in like the Dark Souls like fan base. I know that's a joke, but it's like, hey, I'm genuinely trying to like, you know, help you out kind of deal because I've been through that kind of thing. And so that's one thing I like most when people are trying to help each other out. I try to act like that more when I play Smash Bros. If I play someone better than me, I sometimes like to tell them saying, hey, you should try doing this at some point, or you should try doing it like that. Or when I get my ass beat, I ask them, hey, that thing you do, how do you do that? And usually they're nice enough to tell me, yeah, like, you do it like this, man. And like, I'm starting to see that you have these tendencies. You should fix that. And because I like learning. So my point in all this is, if I get into an interaction with a fan, I want to walk out of it with something new. And that's always beneficial to me when I learn something new in something I already love as it is. So in the anime fan base, when someone's a fan of something that I like to watch, they go, hey, did you notice that one detail in the one thing? And I go, oh, no, I didn't. That's a good way to put it. Or how do you interpret this one like anime? Oh, I interpret it like this. Oh, that's a really interesting take. You know what? I never thought of it that way. So those are the good, positive things I like about certain fan bases, when you get to see a different perspective of something you love that doesn't really promote it being negative. You know what I mean? Like some people liked Girls Room Panzer for like, you know, the battles, or, you know, and me, I'm just like, oh, I liked it for the accuracy, or hey, I liked it for the girls. Oh, cool, we're all in more or less agreement with each other kind of thing, you know? So that's a positive thing I always like to look for.
Yeah.
Do you think this helpfulness can come to anime fan bases? Because I feel like with video games, especially with Monster Hunter, being helpful and having knowledge is almost important. Like that's an important mechanic to the game to some extent.
Very important. Yes.
I don't know if like watching anime is necessarily like it's important to have a bunch of knowledge, if that makes sense, or if it's like an important mechanic.
It's like what are you gonna benefit from talking to someone that has more knowledge than you about anime? Like for me,
I guess it can give you perspective on things to understand that history will repeat itself over and over again, I guess.
I mean, I've had you guys explain a bunch of things I didn't understand with the anime series I didn't feel too great about. And obviously that's what these podcast discussions are in the end. We're just discussing things from different perspectives as we come together kind of deal. Like that's why when there are disagreements and we handle them, you know, properly, obviously there are other ways people have handled disagreements online.
We can fist fight.
Fight to the death. Who is the best girl? We should do it like that. Represent your girl.
Yo, my punch kind of quick though.
Like, I'll punch you so hard.
Yo, my Dempsey roll pretty quick though.
Oh, dude, I love the Dempsey roll. I don't know. I think if that were to come to the anime fan base, and like, you know, if that whole mentality with Monster Hunter came to the anime fan base, I'd probably treat it as in terms of, if someone wanted a recommendation. Wait, this is already what I do. If someone wants a recommendation, I'd always ask them, what are you into? Like, it's like, you know, basic anime recommendation 101. If someone's into action, I'm not going to recommend them a romantic comedy. Obviously. Like, my brother's one of them. You know, he just wants action. He wants balls to the wall, things that will just motivate you and stuff like that. And oddly enough, I convinced him to watch Goop, and he loved it. So, yeah. Really is my brother.
Gross.
Shut up. Shut up. I don't know how that would come in the form of the fan base. I guess just when it comes to recommending each other. I guess maybe
it's just a thought, like it's a mentality type of thing, you know?
Right. Like I've had people ask me like, "Oh, dude, like what should I watch?" And I'm just like, "Do you like psychological thrillers?" And they're like, "Oh yeah." I'm like, "Oh, dude, you should watch freaking Death Note and Psychopaths to get you started off, and then if you don't like those, then I'll give you something different." You know, off the top of my head, I wouldn't. That's all I could think of.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, but go on. Yeah, I cut you off.
I was gonna say something, but like, so you mentioned like people who are kind of acting like boy band fans or something, and what I see
Yes.
often is that I will see people who are just like, oh, this is why I hate like normie fans or something, and I
Right.
wish those people that were like hating on normie fans could like maybe be more like accepting of like new fans, maybe, if that makes sense. I understand that these
yeah.
interactions go both ways.
For
And
sure,
that I
for
could
sure.
say that like new fans could maybe not be like not to say that they shouldn't be like that, but more like they could work on improving themselves, if that makes sense. It seems like everyone could be working together to improve everybody, right? Like it's not like one group of people has to change. It's more like I feel like everyone has to like change themselves to some extent.
And everyone needs to be in the right mentality to change, or at least make these slight adjustments, kind of deal. Because in the end,
realize that
people
we're
are just,
all in this together. We're all anime fans at the end of the day, right?
We're all in this together. This really is like before we were recording. I'm like, oh, is this going to be the 2000s music episode? And it totally.
It is. It is.
God, I love it. I don't know. It's. I guess like I do sound like that, where it's just like, oh God, this is why I hate like normie fans. But the thing with me is that I'm
The change you wish to see in the world,
Well,
Bacon.
well, I am kind of already like that because I'm able to interact with people based off of what, like, what anime they seem to. When they get that little glow in their eyes when you name that one anime that they love so much. Like, because when it starts out, it's kind of like, oh, dude, you like watching One Piece? Oh, I love One Piece, man. What else have you watched? It's like, oh, dude, I'm really into this one anime. And I'll be going, oh, I've seen
What is
that
it
too.
called?
Yeah, it's like, oh, and then that's when things like really start clicking. That's when you really kind of learn about someone. That's why when someone talks about their own hobbies and they become really happy about it, for me, I like to just ask questions, being like, oh, what makes that so great? Why should I watch that kind of deal? And that those like minutes of interaction, I think, is what really like gets people kind of like feel good.
I think that's what
kind of thing.
keeps
Like, I'm
people,
listening
like,
to you.
I think that's
I'm
what
literally
like
listening to you.
what makes people continue being like an anime fan is just little interactions like that. Like, yes, I want to
Right.
be a part of this community, kind of thing.
Yeah. Like I in no shape or form have I ever looked at someone and went, ugh, you watch this, like in face to face. Like I've never done that kind of deal. Usually I just try to, if someone on one hand's talking about One Piece, yeah, sure, like I'll talk with them One Piece about any other. And then on the other side, if someone talks about a really low-key anime series that I have also watched, I'll level with them and watch that as well, kind of deal. And sometimes you just have to be honest in the end. Like, I've told people face to face, oh, I wasn't really into that, but I gave it a chance, kind of thing. And I think in the end, a lot of people just want a chance. About
I think people
like,
just want to be understood. I think
Yeah,
people
yeah.
just want to somewhere to belong, to feel accepted, right? Like,
yes,
Yes.
exactly. But in the end, people feel numb when they don't when they don't have someone relate to them or accept them. I don't know. I can't really hate
when the
I
clock
can't really
ticks
hate
away. It's so unreal.
Stop.
Didn't look out below. Watch the time fly right out the window.
I think that just good anime fans are just
Good people.
The opposite of
Who happen to be
just
anime
like
fans.
the opposite of what we complained about. Like
People suck.
people that are accepting of people who like different things within the fan base. Like I'm in the Steins Gate fan base, even though I said I wasn't or whatever. I'm a Steins Gate fan, and
I think there's a difference between being a fan and then being in a fan base. I think.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah,
Agreed.
Yeah, and Mayushi's my girl, but also we have Shaw in the podcast who likes Kurisu. That's fine. We're not going to.
She's wrong, but that's fine.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, but being a good fan is accepting that other people are going to be wrong.
Pretty much. That offhanded comment stuff has kind of got to be eased up, though. I that's where I roll my eyes sometimes.
Yeah,
I've
they're
heard that
wrong,
before.
but I accept it. You're like, yeah, you're just a little shitter kind of thing. I wanted to be funny, but like, yeah.
Yeah. Like, that's happened to me before. Like with this one guy, is like, I remember one time on Reddit, I told this one guy like, "Oh man, yeah, Senju Kahara's trash," and he's like, "All right, it's okay to be wrong," and I'm just like, "Oh well, like." You think you want this? Do you think you won this by that offhanded comment?
Are
It's
we
not
really
like you changed my
arguing
mind.
about a fucking drawing, dude? God.
Yeah, I mean that's the fan base.
Calm down. It's just a drawing.
Drawing,
God.
son. I always like it whenever there's someone who's, you know, a veteran fan who's been invested in whatever it is for a long time and they know a bunch of stuff and they just use that to actually help people.
Yes.
Or whatever and accept like as much shit as the JoJo fan base gets, I watched
There are JoJo
part
fans
4.
that know a lot of shit, and like,
I watched part 4 weekly, and I was on the Reddit threads, and Smurf was in those threads, and he like had his own, like he would use his comments for like a source reader gathering. He's like, hey, if you've read the manga, like talk about it here. Don't bother the other people. I like that sort of stuff, you know,
like trying to do the right thing to make sure everyone has a good experience.
Yeah,
like,
and he
Smurf
was
is
also
aware that like, you know, JoJo fans especially have a tendency to be very, you know, wanting to talk about the thing that they like a lot, but sometimes it may like alienate, you know, newcomers or something. So that's pretty.
And
That's
he was
pretty
also
good thinking.
he was also like, you know, just responding to comments in general, just keeping the discussion alive without being like, oh, wait till you see this part of it. He didn't do
Hold
any of
on
that
to your
bullshit.
pants, dude.
I mean, that's like literally manga fans to anime fans all the time. Like, oh, they hinted at that thing. I can't-
you wait, buddy. It's about to go down. Like,
or the
shut
whole,
up, dude.
or like I'm
It
sick of
gets
that.
better later.
It gets better. You hear that, Moz? It's getting.
Yes!
No, I hate that one. I hate that one comment where it's the whole like, anime fan. Wow, this is the best fight in the entire anime. Manga reader laughs in this one character's name. You know, the whole. Oh yeah, like he thinks this is great now. Wait till you see this part. And so that whole like, oh, laughs in this one enemy's name. All for one. I don't know. It's
He enjoyed something in the early parts. Rookie
he
mistake,
enjoyed something
gotta
because
say.
he didn't have all the information. What the fuck
Yeah.
is his problem?
yeah, exactly. Like, oh, of course I love this. This is my
Fucking
first time.
nerve of that guy,
I
dude.
can't read the future.
How fucking dare they? When it's I mean, why would they know? Like, not everyone. More people watch anime than they read manga. How the fuck were they supposed to know that there's something better later on? Jesus Christ, you guys.
Oh no, they hated it. But wait, there's a reason. There's a good reason for this because it's gonna get better. So I should. It's just, I don't know. I guess that is a really. I won't say bad, but that's like not a good way to handle a fan base like that. And the thing with good fan bases in general too is that they always have something else to offer. Like you said, the whole discussion threads and the rewatch threads. I like to put like fan art in the mix too, because there's people that are genuinely, other than promoting your anime by just saying go watch it, they promote other reasons for it. Kind of like, you know, either it's fan art, either it's useful tips and like information from
Or
like
it's
the
porn.
creators. I mean, do we have? I thought, okay, so it's been exactly 1 hour and 24 minutes.
Oh my god!
Now we're getting into, finally, it's turning into a hentai episode.
H.5.5. Let's do it.
Little did you know this. We're talking about the fan bases.
If
of
you're
hentai.
horny, let's do it, guy.
Every time I close my eyes.
Waking up feels so horny.
I have no idea how to sing that.
I wake up feeling so horny.
Yo, dude, everyone be jerking off every day. I'm just kidding. Ooh.
Yes, I'm a dick very.
So I will say this about like people, like the fan base. I don't even think like hentai has its own fan base, or just lewds in general. It's very.
I think there are people who are very into porn or very like, I don't know, passionate about how much they like porn, right? Like they're very like, yes, I am cultured kind of motherfuckers, you know? Like people like that.
I remember when I was at like the Faku like booths and all that stuff through some past conventions. A lot of people there are really nice, and we're all not so weirded out by each other.
The Faku people, pretty chill, I gotta say.
They're really
Super
chill too.
people.
And it's just, I don't think I've ever had a really bad reaction.
I feel like you kind of have
interaction.
to be to sell porn. Like, you got to be like super chill, you know? Like, you can't be like weird about it.
Yeah, you can't just be like, Oh, you're buying this? God,
Oh,
you're buying
that? You fucking idiot! That's
Yeah,
so gross.
Like, I'm pretty sure in the back of their minds, like, man, look at all these horny guys. But at the same time, they're like, no, this is
There are
great.
also women that go to the Faku booth like all the time.
Dude, it's a vibe. I like it.
Tis a vibe.
Tis a vibe. We don't want
Women watching porn, never heard of it. Unbelievable.
Oh,
There are
welcome,
like a
Mom.
Unheard
lot
of.
of like horny women like out there that just read porn all the time. Like that's a thing that exists. Like
It
there
is.
yeah.
I
Shout
mean,
out to
like,
the 4th hentai episode, dude. Like that's the goat. It's goated, if you will. Okay, I gotta say, I actually hate the term goated. Like, it's weird to me. Like, why would
It
you?
is a stupid term.
I don't
Like, just say
that.
goat.
What does it
Dude, like,
even
what the fuck?
mean?
Oh, they're goated. That sounds like they're like taxidermied or something. Like, that's gross, dude. Like, they're stuffed with shit.
That sounds like they're doing it with an animal.
Yo, I still beat though.
Ew.
Oh,
Yo,
God.
I'm kind of quick with the masturbating though.
Stop.
Ew.
Jay, shout out to the Faku fan base.
I'm sorry, I'm still laughing at that.
I don't care about that joke.
Yo,
I'm
my
still
nut
laughing
kind of
about
quick though. Oh my god,
it. I hate that so much.
this is so bad.
I know what I'm changing my Twitter handle now to. It was I'm baking from the parking lot. Now I'm gonna put bacon kind of quick though. You know, I'm not.
quick
I'm not. Oh my god.
I'm quick for all the wrong reasons.
Ooh. Plus
Ooh.
5 minutes plus a minute of cleanup. Wait, that's a little too long. That's a little too long, actually. I did that joke completely
5 minutes
wrong.
to do it, 5 seconds to do it, 5 minutes to clean it up.
There you go. Thank you. How did you know? Were you watching me last night?
Yes.
Nice. I like it when
Yo,
people-
it was a show, all right.
I like it when people watch.
Okay, let's get
All right.
back on track.
I mean, there's
Okay,
honestly
What
there's
the hell were we even talking about?
We're talking
before
about
this?
porn fans, I think. Fans of hentai, if you will.
I mean,
Fans
like
of fucking.
we could at one point all three of us should go to like a porn convention because that's where we'd be.
You know,
all
they had
porn
a they
fans.
had a porn convention in like California, like 2019. I think it got canceled or something.
So no, that was HentaiCon.
Yeah, HentaiCon, dude. We should
It
go
got
to
canceled.
HentaiCon.
Is it here? Let me look it up right now. Is it coming back? Let me see.
I know. Yeah, it was like canceled like last year.
Hold on.
How do I explain to the family that I live with that I'm going to be taking?
Hi.
vacation?
Yes. Oh, where are you going this summer? Oh, you know, porn convention.
Yeah. Not just porn convention, anime porn convention.
Oh, that makes it even weirder. Like, oh, it's one thing to consume porn, but to like go to an anime porn convention, dude. Now we're really disappointed.
So yeah, there's no updates on their website, but here's this. It says, why is HentaiCon 2019 canceled? It says, 2 dominating factors that made HentaiCon 2019 unattainable was one of our data service provider corrupting our data and our hentai content having compatibility issues with the venue.
I think that's a
What?
valid reason.
And then it says, when was it? Oh no, when was it decided? October 2nd. Personal info saved. So basically, they had like a data breach, and like
That's important. Infiltrating private information is kind of
Yeah.
a bad thing.
yeah, and the
That
final
do be
question
kind of
is,
sus though.
will the con come back? If so, where? Due to popularity with attendee feedback, sales activity, online activity, and industry interest, HCon has a bright future ahead. Mindful of our experiences thus far, we will pick a new location safe to the unique content that our name embodies. Dude, come up north. Come up north. Literally come in the north.
I was gonna say the come up is real.
But it was supposed to be
Wow.
November 1st through the 3rd, and November's already looking jam-packed for me, so...
Ooh, don't say anything now, Bacon. But
I
like,
won't, I
ooh,
won't. But I'd be down to go to that con. It'd be good. Oh,
I-
dude! Oh, if you guys go to the HentaiCon website. Oh, dude. If you go to the Hentai... I'm gonna put this on the episode. If you go to the HentaiCon
God.
website, it's a picture of a guy taking a picture of, like, a girl with titties. But on the dude's backpack, he's got the same Girls and Panzer patch as me. He's got the same Girls and Panzer patch as me. I know where he bought it. Oh, I'm gonna zoom in
Bacon.
hard
This guy
on
is
that.
literally UIRL. Like,
Dude, he's not. I got more hair than him. Ah!
Oh my
And
God.
I think that's a good place to end it, everyone.
we're gonna end it on that note.
They are. Yeah. Unless you guys have any
So
other
what have we
hot-
learned today, you guys? Like, what would you say is like the thing to take away from this?
Do what you want. Just
Be
do
a
what you
good
want.
person. Realize that anime fans are people too, and like let's just try to get along,
And
my dude.
just drink water.
Honestly, stay hydrated for sure.
Yeah, it may be cold out, but you should still drink water.
Just drink some more water or something.
Yeah,
I don't
dude.
know. Fuck
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. All right. So, from the Our Anime Podcast, and we love our fan base here. Yeah.
Some
Oh,
of
I
our
don't
fans
know.
suck. Let's be honest. Like,
Yeah, I know.
I'm not gonna
God.
say who, but I'll let them figure it out.
Yeah, dude, Moz sucks.
Wait,
God.
is Moz a fan? Moz was a fan and then became like a member. Like that's crazy.
I know. How dare he?
Dude,
Kick
this
him
is
out.
one of Moz is actually the best fan because he was so good at what he did.
Damn. So that's how all the other fans are able to get on our episodes. Just be like Moz.
I mean, it's kind of been like that, like each time. Like, no, Moz.
No, Moz.
Oh yeah,
Why?
they should be like me. Oh god, that's even worse. Oh no. Honestly, I think people should also realize that all of your heroes are terrible people more often than not, and do not look up to them. Meeting your heroes, the worst thing ever.
There
all your heroes are
goes
cornballs.
My hero.
There,
Watch
my
out,
hero,
Academia.
academia.
No, it's pronounced Watashi no Academia.
Oh my god, shut up, Boku no Bacon. Okay, we're done.